Hey guys, let's talk about transformations. And there are four types of transformations that we're going to discuss in this video. One is a translation. So hopefully remember that a translation means that you have a figure. I'm going to use my hand. And a translation is literally just sliding it, a slide. So if it's here, sliding here, you can go, to the sides, up or down. That is what a translation looks like. I did not move my figure as far as like rotating it or flipping it. It stays in the same direction that it was. It's just getting slid over. That is a translation. A translation doesn't make the figure smaller or bigger, it's just a slide. Then there's reflection. Reflection is when you take a figure and you reflect it, let's say, like this. So my hand, a reflection. The shape has not changed. The size did not change. It's just its order changed. The direction it was facing was changing. I could reflect like this. Those are your reflections. You then have also a rotation. So a rotation is when you have a figure and about a fixed point, like let's say a dot in the air, I would turn a figure around that point. Now, also, the shape and size did not change. The location changed around a point. It's rotating. So you have a translation, a slide. You have a reflection, which is a flip. And then you have a rotation, which is like a turn. All of those don't change the shape or size of my hand. My hand never changed. The one transformation that does change the side is called a dilation. So a dilation would be if I took my hand and then I enlarged it and made a much bigger hand. Or I took my hand and I shrunk it and I made a much smaller hand. I can't actually do that, but we can only imagine. Let's take a look at these diagrams that I have here for you today. Over on the left, I have these two pentagons, and I know they're pentagons because they're both five-sided figures. It looks like they're the same shape, same size. It just looks like this figure was rotated or turned to make this shape. So it was turned. I don't see a reflection line, a line of reflection. I don't see that it definitely did not just slide over because I see the point is on the right, but this point is up top. So it definitely was a rotation. You could think that I could have taken this figure and rotated it like in a curve in that direction, or perhaps I took this figure to the right and rotated it to look like this. No matter what, this is definitely going to be a rotation. Over on the right, I see two right triangles. I don't see any lines of reflection, like I could not draw a line of reflection here and have it flip over. Instead, it looks like this figure, either one of them, was just simply slid over. It just simply slid over. So if that's the case, a slide is what we call a translation. Okay, a translation doesn't flip it, doesn't turn it, it just simply slides the figure. Okay. Over here for the bottom two, over on the left, I have these two. Do you know what they are? They're quadrilaterals. They are trapezoids. I have two trapezoids here. And I don't know. I mean, I kind of see two different transformations happening. Like there could be two options. The first option that maybe I see is that one of these trapezoids got reflected over this line here. This figure got flipped over and then became this figure. So I totally see a reflection. However, if I put a point right here in the middle and I say I want to rotate or turn this figure to this figure, this shape, I could see that also that figure got rotated and put onto that shape. So this one could either be a reflection or it could be a rotation. Could it be a translation? The answer is no, because if it was a translation, then this longer side here on this figure would match up with the longer side here. If it was translated, it wouldn't have flipped, it would have rotated, it would have just slid. So I definitely know that it could not be a translation. Now, the only one we didn't see yet in any of these problems is a dilation. And dilation is where the figure changes its size. The shape doesn't change, but the size of it does. Just like I said, my hand, imagine a big enlarged hand version or a little tiny little hand. That's your dilation. So here, whether I say, oh, the figure went from the bigger arrow to the smaller arrow, but it's the same shape, or the smaller arrow became the bigger arrow, that is definitely what's called a dilation. Again, the shape doesn't change, the size does. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.